Just because the Seattle Seahawks won the Super Bowl does not mean that we are going to slow down here on Seahawks Today. I can promise you that. We are grinders here on the channel. Producer Searle does a fantastic job. I do a fantastic job. We are going to keep you locked in on all the news, rumors, and any analysis that you could want on your favorite team throughout the 2026 NFL offseason. Any trades, any free agency news, all kinds of stuff around the Seattle Seahawks. We will make sure that we have videos out. And of course, we always want to hear from you, the 12s. So make sure you're down below in the comment section responding, giving your opinions, because we are always looking for new videos that we could possibly film. And we want to cater them to what you want to watch. This is a channel for the people, by the people. And we want to make sure that you get all the content that you could possibly want on the Seattle Seahawks. So make sure that you come in and smash that subscribe button so that way you never miss any breaking news around your Seahawks. By the way, come hang out with us. I know this is kind of nighttime. It's a late last-minute little thing. We are going to be live, myself and producer Searle, just really taking in the championship parade. I know that the Seahawks are going to have a grand old time. You're going to have a grand old time, but not everyone is going to be able to be down in Seattle to go and experience it the right way. So come in, hang out with Searle and myself. We're going to have a great time. We're going to do a video or two, but most important, we're just going to be hanging out with you, the people, the 12s. You want to be with your fellow friends, watching all that's going on, the hijinks and hilarity around the championship parade. We are so excited to be here for you, so make sure that you come in and join us. We are going to be live at 11 a.m. Pacific time. That is 1 Central time, 2 Eastern time, and Mountain time. That, of course, will be at noon. Thank you guys so much. Now let's get into the meat and potatoes of today's video. This is Seahawks Today. I am your host, Will Ortner, and I need to tell you why the Seahawks have a really good opportunity of going back-to-back. It'd be super easy for head coach Mike Macdonald to just take his feet, kick them up, rest, relax, have some nice beverages. I mean, shoot, that's what I do. When I have a good day at work, you know what I do when I go home? I make sure that I get some extra candy, get some ice cream, do all the things that I'm not supposed to do, eat all the things that I'm not supposed to do. That is not what Mike Macdonald is doing. Because Mike Macdonald, he just won a championship. He is a champion. And it would be easy for him to just be like, whatever, I'm going to do what I want to do. But you know what Macdonald's doing for the Seahawks? He is grinding. He's already in preparation for what is going to be happening in 2026 for the NFL season. When you look at Macdonald, of course he's enjoying his time right now. He went on Jimmy Kimmel. Of course he's enjoying his time right now. He's really soaking in the moment. But at the same time, we've already heard conversations from Macdonald about what he plans to do during this NFL offseason. The Combine is right around the corner. Plus, we heard from former offensive coordinator Klint Kubiak, and he said some pretty good things about Macdonald that I want to make sure that I share with you. Before we get into any of that, of course, make sure that you go in and grab our merch. Super Bowl Champions, chatsports.com/Seahawks60. We got the black t-shirt. We got the navy. The things are freaking sweet. Look at that. It's the mission over all the other BS. We are champions, so really embrace it. I know it's still cold outside for some people, so make sure that you go in and grab the hoodies. The things are freaking sweet. They are very stylish. They're very sleek, and they're going to keep you warm during the cold months. I got the Mob Mentality t-shirt on. Of course, you could rep that as well. And we've even got a little bit of a fun, whimsical side with the mascot, smoking the cigar, mission over BS, really enjoying his time, his victory. And, of course, you can get those in hoodies as well, black and navy. The link is going to be in the comment section and description of today's video. It really is the best gift I believe that you can go and grab. Grab one for yourself. Grab one for a friend, family member, whoever loves the Seattle Seahawks. Here are the shout-outs that we got to give to the people who have the mob mentality, just like our favorite squad, J-Dub, Paul S., Jerry B., and Robert K. Shout out to all of you guys. Thank you guys so much for going in and grabbing some merch that we have here. We're going to support the people that support us. And I'll tell you right now, you guys are some absolute studs. Now, I want to make sure that everybody understands the timeline that the Seahawks are already on. The NFL Combine, for most people, kind of starts, hey, it's a transition into looking towards the draft and into the next year. Well, guess what? It starts on February 23rd. And as I look at my watch, That's just 10 days or 13 days away from me right now. So it's a brutal turnaround for the Seattle Seahawks. They have to be ready to go, and they have to be clicking on all cylinders. Yes, they can embrace what is all happening. They can embrace the victory. But if they want to make sure that there isn't a letdown, there isn't a second-year sleeper, they have to make sure that they are grinding, and that comes from the head man on top. And that is exactly what Mike Macdonald is doing. He was joining the NFL Insiders, and he had this to say: I'll do this every year if you need me to. Because they asked him, hey, what type of turnaround is this? Are you ready to be able to go out there and do that? And McDonald said, yeah, it doesn't matter. I'll be at the Combine in 13 days, and I'll be looking for future Seahawks that we can have join our squad. The Seahawks obviously right now don't have a ton of draft capital with the Rashid Shaheed trade, so they really have to make sure that they maximize the most out of their picks. You know some guys who won't be in attendance, who aren't grinders the same way that our coach is a grinder? The Rams head coach Sean McVay and the 49ers head coach Kyle Shanahan. Neither one of these guys really goes. What they like to do is do more of their research watching the film. I still think it is important as a team, as a coach, as a scout, as a general manager, to go and meet the players that you could potentially be drafting. How often have you met or you have had an interaction with someone in person where you go, hey, you know what? I texted with that person before. I'd messaged with that person before. They seemed like a pretty cool dude. But the minute that I met him, something just seemed off. It didn't seem like they fit the vibes. Well, that's not what these coaches do. And I think in San Francisco, you're really especially starting to see some of the little dents in the armor, if you will. Yes, I know that the 49ers had a lot of injuries, but they don't have the depth right now that a team like Seattle has. When you look at the Rams, if Matthew Stafford goes down, that team's in a real bad way. Is it important for the head coaches to attend the NFL Scouting Combine? Let me know down below in the comment section. Yes or no. I'll tell you right now, I think it's very important. You want a coach that is on the same page as his GM, and I've never seen a crew in more lockstep than what the Seahawks have going on right now between McDonald and Schneider. McDonald is never satisfied. He is continuing to go out week after week, day after day, and try and find the best way to make the Seahawks on top, to help the Seahawks continue to grind, to help the Seahawks continue to grow, to help the Seahawks continue to push themselves forward. When you look at the last two drafts, those are, of course, the two drafts that McDonald was a part of. Obviously, there's been a lot of success for multiple years now, but I want to specifically dive in to the last three. Byron Murphy, that's the 2024 round one pick. Guess what? The guy has turned into an absolute star in Seattle, and he's part of the reason why this defensive line was so freaking good last year. He's really grown into being the player that we all thought he could be. Gray Zabel, the number one pick that you had in the 2025 draft, guess what he does? He completely revamps this offensive line, and he helps the left side become one of the strongest in the National Football League. McDonald obviously doing a big sign-off there. And then Nicky Manwari. In my mind, he is the steal of the draft. You cannot tell me a better player that was picked at a lesser spot. I understand that a second-round guy, it's pretty hard to say that, hey, that guy is a steal or that's a guy that no one else really saw this coming. But there's no reason that Nicky Manwari should have got out of the first round. Look at how impactful he was with this Seahawks team. This Seahawks defense was at its best when Nicky Manwari was out on the field for them. Those are three guys that McDonald has gone out and scouted. Those are three guys that McDonald has gone out and said, hey, I want to make sure that they are added to my roster. Now, of course, General Manager John Schneider deserves a ton of credit. In fact, he probably deserves the majority of the credit when it comes to these drafts because he was drafting well before Mike Macdonald came in, and he's been drafting well with Mike Macdonald. But what is important to say is that these two are working hand in hand. Macdonald goes wherever Schneider goes, and Schneider goes wherever Macdonald goes when it comes to scouting future players. They are clearly in lockstep, and they are going to take this organization, which is in great hands, to the next level and continue the dominance that the Seahawks have shown over the last couple of years with Macdonald. I believe that these two will continue to work hand in hand to make sure that the Seahawks have another good draft. And while most people would say, well, I can kind of kick my feet up and relax, that's not what these two are doing. Of course they're going to celebrate the championship parade the next day. Of course they're going to continue to have fun. But when it's time to get out to the scouting combine, you know that McDonald, you know that Schneider are going to do what needs to be done to make sure that the Seahawks organization and this roster can continue to progress in a positive manner. Make sure that you share this video on social media. Let your friends know that love the NFL that we, the Seattle Seahawks, are the future dynasty. We are going to be here for quite some time, and that we, the 12s, the Seattle Seahawks, will continue to win on a very impressive rate. I told you about something that I heard today at the Klint Kubiak presser, and I want to make sure that I shared it with you guys. Because obviously Kubiak, he is now going to be the new head coach of Raider Nation, and he deserves that. That is exactly where he should be. I find him to be a fantastic coach and a coach that has clearly earned a role and an opportunity to try and be a head guy. But he was asked, hey, what's going on with head coach Mike Macdonald? What did you learn? Is there anything important that you could decipher or anything important that you could take from Macdonald? And Kubiak kind of sat there for a minute and he kind of took his time trying to figure out what he wanted to say and how he wanted to say it. And I do think that it is important to kind of note with a guy like Kubiak, he is going to take a breath. He is a guy that doesn't just say things to say things. He's not loud. He's not boisterous. He is the type of person who is just going to take his time. And so when he speaks, it really means a lot to other people. It means a lot to the players. And he didn't say anything about Macdonald that really wasn't expected, I would say. But he also made sure that he came out and he said something that I think as a Seahawk fan, we should all be very excited about. And something that we should all be latching on to. Because it feels like this is going to be different than the Pete Carroll era. The Pete Carroll era, well, Pete was awesome, and I'm always going to love and appreciate everything that he did for this organization and for this team. Pete was always very much, let's be free-flowing, let's have fun, let's let the players be themselves. And that can lead to a lot of really good things, but at the same time, it can lead to players thinking that, well, they are bigger than they actually are. Where Macdonald lets the players still be themselves, everyone knows who the alpha in the room is. Everyone knows who is running the show. And I think Kubiak really epitomized that type of sentiment in this quote right here. Klint Kubiak said that he hated to look Macdonald in the eye after games because he knew that Macdonald was going to ask him the hard questions. I hated looking him in the eye because I knew the hard questions were coming. But I appreciated that about him because it brought the best. It brought the best out of us. Macdonald is the type of person that doesn't leave a stone unturned. If there is a way for this team to be better, he is going to find it. Macdonald is a defensive-minded head coach who calls plays on defense, who after every single game is going to Klint Kubiak and saying, why did you call this? What went well? What did not go well? He's very hands-on, and there is not going to be something that happens under his watch that he does not want to have happen. That is not something that happened with Pete Carroll. And while Pete was able to help lead that Legion of Boom team to winning a championship, the reason why the dynasty didn't really happen is because there were things that just happened under Pete's watch that frankly shouldn't happen and can't happen. And under Macdonald's watch, they're not going to happen. So I trust Macdonald to go in and get the right offensive coordinator to take this Seahawks team to new heights. But more importantly, I trust Macdonald to make sure that he gets the most out of all of his guys. Because there's a clear respect there by Kubiak, but at the same time, there is a little bit of a healthy fear. And I think that's fantastic. Are you excited for the championship parade? Let me know down below in the comment section. Very excited myself. Unfortunately, I will not be able to be there, but I will be here with you. So if you're not able to be in Seattle hanging out, having a good time at the championship parade, make sure that you come in and join us right as the parade starts at 11. We're going to have a grand old time. Hope that you have a grand old time with us. Thank you guys so much for viewing today's video. Make sure that you subscribe to the channel if this is just your first time finding us. We're going to have you covered on all the big news in the NFL offseason around the Seattle Seahawks. So go and hit that sub button. Thank you guys so much for viewing today's video, and I'll catch you guys next time.